Whenever you could be the greatest individual in football.
We are back with another video, and listen, today more positivity, because why not? We deserve this, innit, Biz?
Come on, man. 3 points collectors. Listen, Arsenal fans, you're in the mud right now, man. You, man, got humbled on Sunday. I loved every minute of it. Anthony getting his debut goal. Marcus Rashford turning up for the big game. Look, bro, you can hear my voice is gone. Me and Ty were going absolutely mad on Sunday. But yeah, man, it's just good to see United back doing what we do best, winning games, moving up the table. You get me, man? Still got, we know we've got hella room for improvement, innit? We're not going overboard, but you get me, Bob. Three months of the new boss coming in. He's put his foot down. He's making changes. Bruv, man, I'm enjoying this journey right now.
Facts. And Ty will be coming in like a minute or two. He's just running a bit late, coming from work and stuff, so you have to allow him. But listen, today we're going to be doing 5 things we've learned so far under Erik Ten Hag, innit? So it could be positive, it could be negative, it could be maybe a bit tactical, I don't know, kind of thing, innit? I've got one to start things off, innit? Because I saw this today on Sky Sports, and I thought it was a very, very interesting graphic, and it was this. So first 2 games, our average running distance was 101.6 kilometers. Our last 4 games, it's gone up to 107.9. The first 2 games, we sprinted 121.5 times. And then the last 4 games, 139.5 times. And you know what's funny? You know, after the first 2 games, remember what Ten Hag done? That Sunday after, he came in with every single person. Every single person was there in training. And they ran 13 kilometers more because that's how much less they ran than Brentford.
And you know, I heard he ran it with them as well.
Yeah. So it seems like that point seems to have been the turning point in terms of us running a lot more than our opponents, kind of thing, because we have seen an upwards of like form, and in terms of players, they're performing.
Correct.
And Ty is also here. Ty, what are you saying?
Easy, man. Yeah, big up you lot. Perfect timing, man. Sorry.
Ty, I told you, innit? We're doing 5 things we've learned so far under Erik Ten Hag, innit?
Yeah, sick.
And
sick.
the first positive I think was this. The running stats have improved over the last 4 games, isn't it?
Wow.
So what do you think of it?
I didn't even know it was like that much of an improvement, you know?
What do you think about this then, as a positive?
I think it's integral. Like it's funny. Like I know people can say, "Oh, you can run all you want and that," but obviously it's about having the ball. But I think it comes with both, because running with the ball, running without the ball, it adds up. But also, I think it's more about the triggers for me. Like if someone's running and putting in effort, you're going to do it, and then you're going to do it, and then you're going to do it. So for me, it's like the domino effect, isn't it? Boom, 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 boom. If no one's really running, then the team aren't really going to be putting in the effort, as you can see. When the team start putting in effort, like the Molasses, McTominays, the Ericsson, everyone pulls in the same direction. So I think it's about the collective, man. And I think if Erik Ten Hag wants to play the way he wants to play, high pressing, you know, winning the ball up in the final third, you know, transition and that keeping the team's pen back, you're going to have to run and work hard to get the ball back. Look at Pep Guardiola. I think Man City, his method is as soon as you lose the ball, run for it as much as you can for 6 seconds, then chill. If you don't get the ball back within 6 seconds, then go back into shape. And you can see that's what we were doing. That first 10 minutes, me and Biz were watching, we were like, I was like, raw, Biz, we need to score while we're on top, because I remember they had that spell where they tried getting it out. And I think McTominay clamped one of their midfielders. And I was like, we've got the ball back. But like, that's all from like that energy and that press, and that all adds up, man. So I think once one person does it, the rest follow. And look at it, Ten Hag done that running drill, Baines, and it's worked, man. Some managers might not like get a bounce back from their players, like they're thinking, you know what, F you, man, you're making me run 13 kilometers on a Sunday. The next day, it's actually worked. And I think, was it Roy Keane said it? Like, it's bold. No, Gary Neville said it. It's bold, like, to come in after your first 2 games and say, you know what, I'm laying down the gauntlet like that. It could have gone wrong, but it's worked, man. And I'm happy. I'm happy. Big up everyone inside, by the way.
You're right on the knock-on effect as well in terms of players, because we even see, for example, you wouldn't necessarily call Ronaldo a high presser, would you? But even, for example, Ronaldo in the last couple of games has been running. And that knock-on effect, I think, I saw a clip here. You know that school, Brampton Manor? A school that gets all A stars and stuff, innit? I was listening to one of the students speaking it, and they were just like, it's not anything special to do with the teachers. But when you put everyone in an environment where everyone wants to work, You're just going to strive to be the best, to be better than them, kind of thing. Innit? You can't slack. And I think that's the exact same thing with United right now in terms of every single person is trying. Literally every single person. So you're going to have to try. There's no excuses, which is a massive, massive positive. And we'll talk about the Bailly comments as well.
That's what it is. Like, say again.
We'll talk about the Bailly comments after.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the first positive I had. Biz, any thoughts?
Yeah, no, do you know what? That's so good to see, Rob, man. I mean, them stats before are shocking. They should have never have got down to that level. But, you know, we all did basically say we didn't know what were the pros and cons of Ten Hag so far on his journey after the first 2 games. But for him, like, really putting his foot down after those 2 games, we all said he was a bit naive, giving everyone an opportunity. That obviously he should have really have done his research from last season and the back end, that some of these players just aren't cut for the journey. But, you know, to put his foot down and realistically get a absolute bounce back from these players, man, and to see those stats, man, I'm humbled by it. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, a lot of these players could have just thrown in the towel like they did with under Ragnick, under a new regime, been like, oh, right, not used to this. Why would I want this when I'm used to the past regime, you know? And they've actually really just literally just been like, you know what, let's just get down to it. Because if we don't, that obviously it's World Cup year as well. I think that plays a massive effect. So like they know that a lot of positions are on the line and they have to work, man. And yeah, man, that Ten Hag, well, he couldn't have done it any better in these last 4 games, man. The decisions he's made in game as well, pre-game, it's just working, man. And I'm like I said before, I'm here for the journey, innit?
Second positive. This is going to surprise you.
Wait, you buying in more than you ever bought in Ollie?
No, you still misses Ollie, innit?
Let's get twisted, bruv. Ollie got us to top at one point in there, so I was super gas around that point. But yeah,
I'll be honest, I might need to check Bizzy's tweets.
I've been with Bizzy. I'm not saying Bizzy's different off camera, but obviously you could chill more when you're the man there. Like, Bizzy's buying into this. He's feeling it. Honestly, babes, when I'm with him, he's invested. I know he's getting happy. He's trying not to get happy. But he rang me the other day. His voice is going. He's like, Ty, no one. He rang me up on Monday, and he goes, Ty, no one put me in a bad mood today.
Yo, listen, I don't care what anyone has to say, bro. No, yesterday I was so happy. Just, it's been so bad the last year and a half. Like I never would have expected it to go that bad last season, and the bounce back in the last 4 games. And do you know what, bro? Like 2 of the main rivals, like we've just taken them out straight away, like nothing. Do you know what I mean? It's not like we've played the teams that Arsenal have had to play, like the Palaces, the Bournemouth and such. We ain't even played them yet. We're playing rivals, and
even we might look at it at the end of the season. I know Leicester are struggling now. I get it, but beating Leicester away, like that game's done. Like I don't want to go there in April when they've got a new manager potentially and they're back on form. Like hard place to go.
That's right. Southampton
away, Southampton away, getting like their form going, and then Liverpool and Arsenal. Like we done a show ourselves as man together. We were trying to predict how many points we would get. None of us.
It was Mark. Mark was the only one.
Biz said 5 and we said 4.
Yeah. And we're 6 with 1 game left.
Yeah. But I remember Mark was saying, oh, we're going to win the next 5 games. I was like, bro,
we're going to win the next 5.
I said, nah, no way. But literally.
No way.
And we're winning in such a way. All right, cool. Arsenal did have a lot of the ball. We did invite a lot of pressure. But we are literally seeing games out. It's not like we're hanging on anymore. Even when we went 2-1, 3-1 up, Arsenal they didn't carve out any opportunities after that. We seemed pretty cool and calm. At 1-0, it was cool. We were hanging on as such. But even the Southampton away game, Leicester game, the way we saw it out, no opportunities are happening in play, but it's only coming in from set pieces.
Yeah, do you know, I think that's one big improvement. I don't want to put that down as a point, but when you look at it, big up Levin every time, man. When you look at it in terms of us seeing out games, we normally concede a lot of pressure and it normally leads to goals. We normally have a lot of shots faced. We normally, can't even keep hold of the ball for a few minutes. And I just feel like probably I'm going back to, I said it on my show yesterday, going back to maybe when we won the Europa League with Mourinho, I felt like that was the last time we had defensive solidarity or whatever the word is. Like, that's 2017 we're talking about. Since then, yes, we've had our little reign under Ollie. Yes, we had that blip under Mourinho when it went downhill. But defensively, we weren't great. And now, Like, yes, we saw at the Leicester game 1-0. We didn't really get under pressure there. They had a Maddison free kick done. They had the Southampton game. Yes, we made one save from Aribo. We've got to expect that they're going to have some sort of shot on goal. That was that. We had the Liverpool game. We conceded with 10 minutes to go. We didn't really face loads of pressure at the last 10 minutes. And then we had the Arsenal game where, to be fair, they scored quite early in the second half. They had half an hour to turn around the game. They could have pressured us more. We actually grew stronger as the game went on. And yes, we might not have been great on the ball in that last half an hour. We hurt them. Like I said, it was like a boxing match. They were jabbing, winning on points. Boom. Heavyweight punch, knockout punch. And we got that. So when you look at it, I'm buzzing with the way we've been defending, man. Honestly, to see a fit Rafael Varane, man, is so good because a lot of people have wrote this guy off, multiple trophy winner. The key is keeping him fit. This individual program, whatever it is, whatever Vaseline they're rubbing up on your kneecap, keep it.
Hey, you know what's mad? I read Phil Jones is on one as well.
Really?
I don't know what for.
What are you saying? Return of Phil Jones, yeah? You never know Erik Ten Hag's working his magic.
Never know.
You know the next positive I had in the 5 things we learned? Remember when going into the season or before Ten Hag got appointed, everyone said, how would he manage big egos? The management of Cristiano Ronaldo in my eyes has been phenomenal. Like, you lot can call me the biggest CR7 fanboy all you want here, but listen, he's been brave.
Well done, babe.
No, but
I'm proud of you. No. Honestly, I'm like a father. You've come a long way, brother.
No, don't be an idiot. But you know I'm United over Ronaldo.
I'm being serious. I'm being serious. I'm glad that you realise this.
I said this, like, the management of Cristiano Ronaldo, everyone thought, how is Ten Hag going to cope with such a big ego? And let's put it, Ronaldo's one of the biggest egos in the world. But the last couple of games, we've even seen Ronaldo come on. He wants to make an impact. He wants to try and score that goal. You saw how much he wanted it. And it's kind of like, fair play. Because a lot of other managers have crumbled under the pressure, under the media attention, the brand of Cristiano Ronaldo that you always have to play in. But what's that? 4 games in a row where he hasn't started.
It's mad. And you know what the funny thing is, Baines? We keep predicting in our group chat, Ronaldo's probably going to start this one. And he just doesn't.
But the bad thing is, like, it could either go 2 ways, Cristiano Ronaldo and Ten Hag. Like, in terms of Ronaldo could have like thrown his toys at the Bram kind of thing. But Ronaldo, after, for example, Ten Hag rightly punished him against Vallecano when he left early, and the rest of the players, he stayed. Well, that's a bare minimum kind of thing. But you know what I mean? He's buying into Ten Hag. You can clearly see it on the pitch.
Yeah,
and that's something I have to say. Fair play to Erik Ten Hag.
I think with it, Biz, do you want to go first, actually?
I got for you too.
Cool. I think with it, what he's done, Ten Hag, is he's played a masterstroke. And I don't know if I said it last week, but you look at the situation with Ronaldo, and a lot of managers do give him like Ollie, and they're going to play him no matter what through the ups and downs in his form. But Ten Hag kind of set the precedent straight away that, okay, Ronaldo, whether you want to leave or not, we've had our conversation. I see Martial, firstly, as my number 9, and that's who was going to play if he's fit. He's not fit. Rashford, this is who I see as my number 9 if Martial's not fit. Thirdly, it then got to the point where, Ronaldo might not have been fit. But we played Eriksen as a false 9 just to try and make it work. So I feel like he's kind of put his tools out now to say to Ronaldo, right, you can play, you need to be part of the squad, but you're not going to be Cristiano Ronaldo and you're not going to be taking it by the helm. At the end of the day, you will still start some games. By the way, just because Ronaldo hasn't started in the first 5 games, I don't think Ronaldo's not going to start. There will be games at home to Fulham, games at home. The games at home like Solskjaer, obviously Europa League. But in terms of Premier League, you will still start some Premier League games, I think, because the games where they're sitting a low block and we need to just score goals, he might play. But I think Ronaldo kind of himself now has realised my body can't do things it wants to do. The way also Ten Hag wants to play football, my body can't do that every week. So I think he's kind of just accepted now that this is the way he's going to be.
You needed that humbling kind of thing, innit?
And he did. And I think the best part about it is that because he wasn't getting played and he wanted to leave, Ten Hag hasn't set himself up now where he's already played Ronaldo and it's like, shit, do you keep him in or do you drop him because he now wants to leave and he stayed? The fact that Ten Hag's never started him, there's no headache there because we just carry on now, playing each week as we do. If he starts, cool, he starts, but then we know he might be on the bench. And if he's on the bench, cool, we know he comes on, he can have a little impact in different ways like he did for the 3rd goal. So I just think perfectly Ten Hag has played a masterstroke. And I think for the whole season, this is really good. People can look in the here and now for the duration of the season. When we get into the semi-finals of tournaments, if we get into the quarters, we don't sit here and arguing like, oh, is Ronaldo's going to start though? But it's like, no, Ten Hag didn't start at the start of the season. So now Ronaldo will play when Ten Hag wants him to. And that's perfect for us because I do.
But I'll be honest, like this is where I think is dangerous in terms of Ronaldo clearly wants it. You can clearly see, for example, against Arsenal when Fred didn't play that ball, Bruno didn't play it. He wants that goal. He wants that place back. And I think Ronaldo knows he's under threat. And everyone always normally says an angry Ronaldo is a dangerous Ronaldo in terms of you expect him to rebound kind of thing. And you expect him, for example, I think he scores against Real Sociedad, for example. If he gets another 2 goals, then what happens? That's another good headache for Erik Ten Hag. And I said this. Like this could be another positive. But you see with Erik Ten Hag, if you played well, he's rewarded you. Yeah. Like, it's not like, for example, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, where Harry Maguire played non-stop, for example, even when he might have had a drop in form. We've seen it. Harry Maguire wasn't playing the best against Brentford. Brings in Varane. Varane's been rewarded for his good performances. And he stayed. Same thing with Malacia over Shaw. Same thing, let's be honest, Elanga played well, kept his place.
Yeah.
And that's where, actually, perfect example, Scott McTominay.
Yeah.
A lot of other managers
Casemiro.
would have been, you know what, Casemiro coming straight back in. But Scott McTominay over the last 3 to 4 games in my eyes has been very, very impressive.
It causes unrest. And also, just because you named Casemiro, you can't just come in. Like, at the end of the day, the squad are probably seeing how he's performing. So they probably want him in the side as well, the other players. So I see James Jones comment, like, big up James Jones, but he says, Ty, stop it. He didn't have a pre-season. Ronaldo isn't first choice and will start a game soon. I might be wrong. Biz, I genuinely think that he likes Martial, then Rashford, and then Ronaldo. I'm not trying to say Ronaldo is a third choice, so he's never going to play. There'll be some games he plays, but if we're talking about the football Ten Hag wants to play, just hold your hands up, James, and say, do you know what? Ronaldo is a good squad player, but Martial and Rashford are ahead of him.
I can't lie. I do agree with this. I do think most of it is down to the preseason, but that's still a positive. Yeah. Just because you're Ronaldo doesn't mean even after you miss preseason, you should be starting straight away. And he said, I think Ten Hag said it in terms of this is a preseason under a new coach. You need that base, which is why preseason was very important.
He did.
I don't know if it was around Ronaldo, but it was a general point around preseason kind of thing. And I think that was very, very interesting in terms of learning how Erik Ten Hag wants to play. And that's why I think someone like Anthony, for example, even though I said before the game he probably shouldn't have started, he made that call because he knows Ten Hag's team. He knows Ten Hag's system, and he came straight in and scored a goal. So fair play.
What do you think of the Ronaldo situation, Biz?
Yeah, do you know what? Nah, I've always said, man, I don't mind him being a sporadic squad player. Kind of like how like Zlatan's been used at AC, Dzeko's been used at Inter. Not every week in week out he's going to be starting. And obviously, like that James comment was saying, I do think preseason plays a mad impact on that as well because he doesn't look 100% just yet. But the way he has been coming off the bench and kind of being like a vocal point and giving us a different dynamic, I'm here for that and I like that. And you know, like you said, there is going to be games where he's going to get minutes and he's going to start. But for the majority, I kind of like this role Ronaldo's going to play. And I feel like he'll grow into it as well. But over the time, like obviously when the World Cup comes around, he's going to be probably starting for Portugal when it comes to January time. And an offer does come for him and he does well at the World Cup. I still see him moving on because he's going to want first team football. But for the time being, I feel like this is the perfect role for him. It's the perfect role for the club. And Ten Hag is, again, man, applause to him for just keeping Ronaldo at a minimum for the time being.
You know what I think? It was also good, in terms of...
He's kept him happy. What I was going to say, he's putting Ronaldo on the bench and not playing him 5 games and then also getting Ronaldo on the pitch, but also engaged. He's working hard. That's a hard thing to manage, you know. Like he's actually not just took Ronaldo out the side for the better of the team. He's also played him, but when he's come in, he's actually got Ronaldo engaged still. Like Ronaldo hasn't thrown his toys out the pram like Bain said. Like he easily could have. This is Ronaldo still. Like
what I like about Ten Hag, he's got that similar. Obviously, it's gonna always come down to Pep here, but them managers they never seem to be satisfied. So I'm guaranteed when Ronaldo started against Brentford, he definitely showed him back like things that you should be doing and you shouldn't be doing. And I feel like with the previous managers probably didn't sit down and done that with Ronaldo because, do you know what I mean? He's such a big personality. How do you tell someone who's one of the greatest goal scorers ever in the world not to make this run, not to track back?
And I think a lot of strikers had that problem because I saw a quote. I think I saw an article. It was in Germany regarding Lewandowski and Nagelsmann, didn't it? And apparently Nagelsmann wanted Lewandowski to make certain runs in the box, and Lewandowski was just like, no. Like at the end of the day, I'm still Lewandowski. I score all these goals. Why are you telling me what to do, kind of thing, innit?
Ooh.
Which is why I like this is where credit to Ronaldo, credit to Ten Hag in terms of they're still on the same page.
Yeah.
And you know what's also interesting here? He's probably playing on Thursday against Real Sociedad. Then I think we've got another Premier League game, depends if he starts that. Then we also got an international break at the end of this month, innit?
Yeah.
So that's going to be very important.
After next week's game against Leeds.
Yeah, that's going to be very important in terms of Ronaldo getting a bit more match fitness. And then maybe, you never know, after the international break, that's maybe when he might become more of a continued.
Yeah,
like,
you know who our
starter.
first game back is as well, don't you?
City away.
City away.
Long day, man, long day. Maybe the one after then. Because you know you want the counter second place with that.
Yeah, we need Rashford highlight again.
The next thing is as a positive I got, and it's like 6 games, so we don't know. He's got the underperforming players performing. Because you know what? And I said this, and I hold my hands up, I was completely wrong. I was like, there's no way Ten Hag gets this right. Because I think Scott McTominay wasn't good enough. I thought Rashford was frustrating over the last 2 years. And I was like, how are you going to make this guy run? I thought even Bruno, let's be honest, had a sticky period.
Yeah.
The defense weren't...
Dallo.
Yeah, defense weren't good enough. But you know what? This is where credit is due. Scott McTominay's looking like a phenomenal midfielder right now. Marcus Rashford...
It paid me to say it because I know Lev was watching as well.
No, but listen, you have to give McTominay
You have to give credit.
Yeah,
Rashford,
you know what? No, I'll give him credit for the last 3 games. He's been good. I'm not going to say that Scott McTominay is a long-term starter for this football club and so forth. He's playing very well at the moment, and I'm very happy to see him putting in these performances. It's been a long time now that people have backed him or McTominay and Fred partnership for a long time, and we've not seen what McTominay can do. He's playing well at the moment, and long may it continue. So
no, but that's what I think is a lot of players. Like, for example, McTominay, even Martial. I know Martial's injured right now, but he's been underperforming for how long? When he came on against Liverpool, was very good. Rashford, who would have thought? This is the old Rashford. In terms of you're making those runs in behind, you're very important to this side, which is why I'm like, fair play. I didn't expect this.
Did you like? If you thought, like, funny enough, right? So you look at the 3-man midfield. We kind of got Bruno in the number 10-ish. You got Eriksen in a hybrid role, and then you got McTominay in a holding role. If I'm honest with you as well, McTominay's best position for me is actually not in the holding role. It's actually more in the second position where Eriksen plays, getting up and down the pitch. That's what he used to play in like the academy, getting up and down. So I'll be honest with you, I don't know what you man think, but I'm surprised that he's managed to turn McTominay into right now his best number 6 holding midfielder, I would say. When I didn't think that's actually
looking a lot better than Fred in that role, isn't it?
I don't even think, like, I know you're saying, you know, he's got the underperforming players performing. I think on top of that, he's got McTominay performing in a position that I think he's the least comfortable in, getting the ball back to goal and sort of ushering and sorting out the defense. So I've got to give Ten Hag even more plaudits. If that
the 100% pass accuracy the other day as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James Bond. Yeah, I am. My background is that. Yeah.
Another thing as well, I think what Ten Hag has done as well, I feel like the midfield seems to be more of a cohesive unit now. Like they all seem to be a bit more closer to each other. So McTominay doesn't have to be doing these Hollywood passes or like line splitting passes because he's got like Eriksen and Bruno kind of a little bit more closer to him. Like, and you know, it's just easier for him to just do the simple things and move on. And obviously as well, we have been kind of holding a low block on the when we're holding the leads. And he's kind of like needed for that situations like that because he's physical. He's very good when it comes to set pieces and clearances. So at the moment, like he's just doing the simple things right now, and he's putting himself about. And I just feel like because obviously since the Casemiro signings come, he knows that Casemiro is breathing down his neck for that spot. So he's doing that Luke Shaw thing right now. You know when someone's pressuring.
Alex Telles came in.
Yeah. Telles and Brandon Williams. He knows now he can't put on anything under us a 5 or 6 out of 10.
And you can see, you know, on the passing, 0 long balls complete or attempted the other day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't need to do that now because he's just got Bruno and Eriksen a lot more closer to him. And I feel like, obviously, we saw when Fred come on, innit? Fred will cover every blade of grass, but see that final pass, he just ain't got it. That's the only thing.
He could have played him Ronaldo.
Yeah, when he could have played him. If Ronaldo scored, as soon, bruv, in front of the Arsenal fans would have just Yo, that would have been the best thing ever.
That would have
But
been tough.
But listen, like as I said, fair play to Scott McTominay and HKM Music said Fred is still a better player than McTominay, but McTominay is proven. I agree. I still think Fred's a better player, but it's like in that number 6 role, I think we're seeing more from McTominay than we did from Fred in the first couple of games.
Do you know what as well? Like when you look at Edson Alvarez, if you look at Ajax's team, he wasn't the most flashy. He allowed obviously the other players, more De Jongs, the Van der Beeks, whoever it was, to go out there and express themselves. Steven Bergwijn, not Bergwijn, and David Klassen and stuff like that. But he was just like a physical, more specimen in there, gets the ball, gives it 10, 15 yards, intercepts play. Like when you look at it and what Ten Hag's learned, I think he has learned that what Pep did in his first season, he said about the physicality of the Premier League. Within 4 games of the Premier League, he has realised that you need a bit of physicality in there. You need people with energy. And yes, if you've got Bruno and Eriksen that are probably below 5'10", both of them each, when you look at it, if you had a Fred in there, that's a very small midfield. You're getting dominated from set pieces. You're not winning goal kicks. Like just having McTominay in there for what he's good at also helps. Like he wins balls from set pieces. One thing I've noticed with McTominay the most, which I'm loving, by the way, is his ability when other teams are crossing the ball to get back in defensive positions and head the ball out. It's like he's another centre-back. So like
there was one. Remember when Fabio Vieira put an excellent ball in and Scott McTominay was stretching and the ball went over?
Yeah.
That was phenomenal.
Brilliant. And like little things like that like I like Fred, by the way. I love Fred for what he brings when he came on, which we'll talk about because he was used in the right way. But for McTominay in that holding role, we need a bit of physicality in there. And he brings that. And he's the best one right now that we can do. And obviously Casemiro is definitely 100% a better player. But I'm sorry for the squad harmony and the way things are. You can't drop McTominay right now. 4 wins in a row, defensively solid. And he played a part in like whipping the balls into, like helping to getting the attack play started. So,
you know what's funny? Did you see the point? I think it was in the first half where McTominay fizzed the ball into Rashford, didn't it?
Yeah,
and
twice.
Rashford didn't turn. Yeah. And then McTominay got the ball back and like fizzed it again. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't normally associate that part of the game with Scott McTominay.
100% I was surprised.
But this is also a good point that Richard Bailey as well. He said, need to mention that McTominay's playing a 6 in front of Varane and Martinez. Fred played in front of Maguire and Martinez. I think that's also fair in terms of the defensive unit kind of thing, innit? Which is obviously going to favour Scott McTominay because Maguire and Varane and Martinez are better than Maguire and Martinez. And this as well, like fair play to Fred as well. Fred, when he's come on, he's tried to make an impact. He's looked very, very good. Like I thought against Arsenal, that was a very, very good sub by Erik Ten Hag in terms of when he came on breaking play.
I felt that sub should have come on. Remember Ty, I was saying to Ty, that was my halftime sub. Was to bring on
Fred. Yeah, you were screaming for Fred, innit?
Fred to come on at halftime just to bring on that energy because Arsenal were just getting far too much love. But another reason I feel why that was the guy's distribution, man. Like we saw with Ramsey, bruv, man, he was just pinging out passes out wide to Zinchenko and Ben White with ease. And there was one part of the game where Ben White, Ramsey played the ping over to Ben White, and then it ended up on the opposite end with Martinelli like hitting the crossbar with a cross going in. Like those are the like style of football I need my team to be doing, and we can't be doing that at the moment with De Gea because so many times in that game, but I don't even know what the stats were with De Gea, but I'm guessing he didn't really get any passes out. I don't know. I don't think he completed any like long distance passes in the game. So that's another reason why we were just pinned back for so long. But yeah, when Fred come on and Ronaldo, game changers, man. And
I think this is a good question. Is there anything more that you want to see from Scott McTominay?
Yeah, it's a good question. Well, it is a good question actually.
Do you think this is the best of Scott McTominay that we're going to see with the skill set he has?
Yeah, it's like, do you know what I mean? You don't want to overdo it thinking he's going to do more.
Yeah.
Maybe he's the simple man in the team. You just need that. Like, do you know what I mean? It's simple.
I don't know if I want any more from Scott McTominay. Like, I think anything more is probably just unrealistic for his game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, he's never going to be that elite, progressive, volume passer from deep kind of thing, innit? This is just going to be Scott McTominay.
Yeah. Sorry, bear with me. I've got to come back in 1 second, guys. I've got to set this quickly.
Obviously, we know he ain't really got a vision like that. I think we're getting everything what we need from him right now, and that's that physicality, just keeping it simple, keeping it ticking over. Just you know what I mean, the role he's playing, man. Like I think Ten Hag knows in it. He just needs someone to just keep it simple for the time being.
And Ten Hag spoke very highly of Scott McTominay. Like, even when you're talking about Casemiro, like, Scott McTominay's playing well. And I think Levin always makes that point. I think it was after the Liverpool game where Ten Hag, like, kind of, what do you call it, came out of his way to praise Scott McTominay. Like, he was asked a question about Scott McTominay. He mentioned Scott McTominay because he thought he played well, kind of thing, innit?
With McTominay doing well, and obviously Eriksen does just seem to just grow into that role right now. Where do you see Donny van der Beek getting minutes?
Europa League.
Literally in it.
Like, you see, I said this, you see with the football that we play right now, in terms of we're playing a lot in the transition, that's not Donny van der Beek's game at all. Like, which is why I'm like, I don't know where you fit in now. And I thought we would have had like more of a game time on Erik Ten Hag, but
it's mad, isn't it? One of his Donny's actually one of his guys that scored important goals, helping him get to that Champions League run. And like, when you actually look at it, I think Sarfo was saying it yesterday, because I don't want to teeth what he said, but big up Sarfo. And he was saying Ten Hag can't really play the way he wants to play with the players he's got. So he's kind of made us more pragmatic. And I know people might say, what do you mean pragmatic? What do you mean? Like, we sit a bit more deeper, we're a bit more reserved, and we just sort of play in spells, play in moments when we can keep the ball, and we also hit them on the break when we do. And unfortunately, for the way we want to play, you need to sort of be able to do both, where Eriksen can do defensive work and also play attackingly. Bruno can do defensive work, can play attackingly. McTominay definitely can do both. It's proven in the Premier League. So when you look at the way we play now, we're not playing a proper Ten Hag way where we're playing Man City style, where Donny van der Beek would slot in like a knife through butter, but we are playing a different type of way. And credit to also Ten Hag, because he's had to adapt his methods to suit the team. And that's why I'm a bit more pragmatic. And unfortunately, Donny van der Beek doesn't just fit into that right now. And it doesn't mean I don't think he's got a future at ours or whatnot. I feel like Donny van der Beek might be one of them players. If he doesn't leave, he'll probably be better for us next season when Ten Hag's got a couple more of his players.
That's what Richard Velli said in the comments. I do think that Donny has the future at United, just not in this phase of Erik Ten Hag.
Yeah, not in this phase.
I agree.
It's more when Ten Hag's got more of his players. So that's
but I think it's going to be up to Donny van der Beek that how much do you want 30 minutes now kind of thing, isn't it? If he does eventually, for example, leave. Because much as like people
the World Cup's a problem for him.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, he's kind of lost that place in my eyes now.
Which I'm not going to lie, like I actually thought he was nailed on to go a year ago.
Listen, football's a cool game, innit? But big up HK Music. He said Eriksen is still picking the ball from deep. Think you substitute McTominay for Fred, the team actually gets better? I don't know, you know.
I don't think so.
What do you think, Ty?
Nah, like I said to you, it just goes back to HK, and I love Fred, but you need the physical aspect. And McTominay brings that. You need someone that's able to just throw their body about, but obviously correctly. And
with
for me, Fred is not a number 6. I said this is, and Baines will know, like I've been a fan of Fred for a long time. Fred needs to be used correctly, HKN. Look at where he came on. Look at, like, he didn't play deep when he came on against Arsenal. He was used behind the striker. He was pressing the midfield. He was pressing Arsenal defense. He didn't even allow them time to breathe, pass through the lines. Fred is actually a wicked player. I'm going to say wicked a player when he's actually told, right, this is your role, simplified, go and press, do this, and just get the ball back and give it. There's no one better. Fred nearly set up Bruno Fernandes just by intercepting the ball. Like, little things like that are just what comes from Fred having his energy and using his strength. So him in a 6 role doesn't actually use his strength. So I think it's an easy way to make fans target Fred, honestly, we play him in a 6. When you actually play him in a pressing, position, or use him as a sub like we did the other day, then great. And the only question I have for you, man, I'm going to reverse it, because that's kind of a good point you make, HKN, is when we come back from this international break, right, look at the form we're in. So say we beat Leeds, say we beat Palace, yeah, or we win 1 or get a draw from 1, right? We've got Man City away when we come back. Now, do you start Fred in that type of game? Because that is a game that I think is tailor-made for Fred. But what do you do now when you've got this conundrum with the midfield we're playing? And I'm going to let you two answer that. I want to see what the comments say.
You play him against City.
Who do you drop, though? Do you...
Like, the only thing I can see, maybe Sancho, potentially Bruno out wide, and maybe Fred in the midfield and Eriksen slightly forward. Because when we try to see games that he has kind of done that kind of thing, innit? I'll be honest, I don't think you change it.
So you go McTominay, Eriksen, and Bruno against City?
I think that's what Ten Hag will go with.
Don't get me wrong. Do I want to Casemiro? That worries me, man.
Yeah, I know.
This is why I asked it, because I was thinking about it at work today, because I work with 2 Man City fans now, sadly. And I was like, just thinking, what do we do against these lot? Like, Casemiro,
It's
like,
tough,
is that the
innit?
type of game he plays?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
is.
But Casemiro coming in against Man City after Ten Hag said he needs to settle in. Surely that's a bit too much.
Honestly, it's a
chucking in.
dilemma, you know, and that's why I'm talking about it now. In 3 weeks' time, we have an issue when it comes to playing this Man City away. Do you go
but
with
I'll be
the
honest.
full winners or?
This is a good problem to have. Because McTominay's playing well, Eriksen's playing well, Bruno's playing well, Casemiro is still Casemiro, and Fred is playing well when he's coming on.
Literally, we've got 4 hungry midfielders right now.
So you're telling me Casemiro and Fred could be on the bench away to Man City, and we go McTominay, Eriksen, Bruno? Like, you're convinced in that? You man, I look you dead in the eye in the camera. You man are convinced by that.
Okay, let me ask you this: what's there not to be convinced by so far with that midfield?
No. It's not. No. So I agree in terms of the midfield. Like, it's working at the moment. I get it. But you know what I'm talking about, Baines? I'm talking about fixture proof, like fixture. I'm playing the fixture. I'm not playing the form. I'm playing the fixture, innit? That's why I'm asking you lot this. While McTominay's on great form, while Eriksen's playing well, and while Bruno's starting to get back in his thing, I want to ask this now. Not in 3 weeks if we lose the next 2 games. And you man are like, yeah, bring Casemiro in, because easy to say.
But don't you think this is the problem right now in terms of you see Eriksen in that role? This here, in terms of being the link between the defense and the attack. Who in that squad can do that role?
Yeah,
that's why I think Eriksen's played too much in terms of he's the only one that can do it. If that makes sense.
And he runs to be fair. Would like to see Donny be tried and tested there.
I don't think Donny has the passing capabilities that Eriksen has. I don't think Donny can do that role.
I don't either.
I think it's literally only Eriksen in our squad that can do that role. Which is why you kind of do have to keep him in. And then it's just that other midfielder, for example, unless you're moving maybe Bruno Fernandes around, the Scott McTominay position. And you want that bit of physicality against Man City. Maybe you want a bit more, like he's still a decent ball winner. It's a problem.
It's a problem. And you know what? Another thing as well, it's not just the Fred thing, is if Martial's fit, does he start that game?
100%.
So
I don't know if he's 100%.
That's 2 pairs dropping out.
Actually, but Rashford, I don't know. Anthony, Rashford, Sancho, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. He should obviously be fit, but like Bain said, if he's not had game time and that.
Ain't he back in training?
Who?
Martial. I swear I saw a picture.
Don't know he isn't. Don't do that, man.
I swear I see someone post a picture up.
Nah, bro, they're lying to you, man. Them are getting pictures from pre-season.
I big up HK Music again. Big up for all your support, by the way.
Yeah,
I think McTominay has been good, but also feel he was so bad before that. Now he's playing decent. We're overstating it a bit. The biggest improvement in the squad in the back four, hands down, and it is what's changing United's fortune these last 4 games. To be fair, I do kind of hear this as well. Like, we're used to McTominay playing so bad that when you play half decent.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying. This is why I'm saying to everyone, I'm playing well at the moment. Well done. Hope it continues. But everyone, calm down. It's not the long-term solution. Like, this is him at his best at the moment. There will be a time when we see. Do you know what I'm saying?
And you know the back four as well. In terms of, I'm probably being like less critical on Harry Maguire than most, innit? But I don't know how you lot felt here. But when Harry Maguire came on, do you not feel a bit of nerves?
Yes.
Oh, me and Beek, yeah.
I didn't want to do it. I think that's the only negative right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, don't you feel like, if you're in the stadium and someone that kind of scares you, like you kind of have the, that little
imagine
gasp.
If we felt like that,
he got a yellow card on his first touch.
A yellow card.
And how the players felt. And I think that's, like, I can understand why you say the back four is the biggest thing.
Next summer he's gone. I actually genuinely think next summer he's gone. He's not going to be at this club.
Like, I think the biggest problem is Baines.
You know what it is, Baines? And I'll be honest with you, Baines. Like, Maguire, I give him credit. He's an all right defender in it. Let's not say shit. Like, he's just not very good for Man United because the way we want to play. But he's an all right defender still. But me and Biz, looked at each other. Like, we were watching the game with each other. And I was like, now we've seen Varane and Martinez and then Maguire coming in. You kind of see the level of the drop-off. Like, it was scary, man. I don't even want to use that word, but there was something about it. I was like, do you know what? Maguire, I'm sorry. You just look well out of place. Like
And the thing is, like, you said it quickly there in terms of how much the players feel. Because touching on this now, Eric Bailly's comments today, I thought were very interesting in terms of.
Very true.
I think, with the Eric Bailly comments, I've seen that a mixed reaction in. I think it's the right message, wrong messenger potentially in it. Yeah. But in terms of what you were saying, in terms of maybe English players having a bit more of a chance than maybe the foreign players.
That was under Ollie as well. Let me put in a star. Yeah.
Because he said like Ten Hag kind of changing that dynamic kind of thing in it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. But under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, that was the case. So the players clearly know the weaknesses in the squad. We even saw last year, according to Athletic, how Ronaldo was speaking to Ralph.
Yep.
In terms of dropping Harry Maguire.
Yep.
So the players know.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing. When the players know, now that report's come out, it doesn't help Maguire's situation anymore, if I'm totally honest. If anything, it probably makes him feel a bit worse. So I'll big up Premsy, man. Love what you're doing at the moment, my bro. If anything, it makes Maguire feel a bit worse. So, and no, by the way, no shame. Look at us, look, 3 respects. I thought that was for 3 goals, but I let him off. Big up Prems. But if anything, when you look at Maguire's situation, 29 years of age, World Cup year, he's probably still going to play for England. But at the end of the day, like, he's a player and they're human still. I don't care what people get paid and stuff. I always say this. They're humans. They want to go in there to their workplace and feel loved. I don't care if I'm getting 60 grand a year. Obviously, I'm not. But if I was getting 60 grand a year, but I weren't enjoying working where I am and I'm not feeling the love for my team, I'm going to be complaining to my missus. I'm going to be, complaining to you lot. Do you know what? I'm not feeling that great. So I feel like the best thing for Maguire and Man United is to part ways, whether we lose a fee or not. And at the end of the day, I'm going to be saying it right now. I don't think it should be Maguire that's coming on anyway. I think once Victor Lindelof is fit, I do believe, even though he doesn't have the physicality and aggression of Martinez and maybe the height of Varane, I feel like he's suited to play in Manchester United and Erik Ten Hag's football more. So, if anything, Maguire is actually 4th choice, not 3rd.
I was thinking this here. Remember there was an international tournament where Lindelof was playing alongside that Grankvist guy from Sweden?
Yeah, he was the cat who used to take pens.
Yeah, and they were playing like a little low block kind of thing, innit? And Lindelof was actually looking all right. So I think...
Was that against Spain? I think they drew... No, they win 1-0.
Yeah, there might have been 1-0, yeah.
But they used to play that style of football. And obviously under Ten Hag, we're not playing a low block directly kind of thing. I think it's more of a mid-block. But I think that maybe box defending thing Lindelof could do. And this is an interesting point in terms of Thursday now. Thursday, what do we do? Because Richard Belli asked, do you think we should change the whole 11 on Thursday? I wouldn't. I got 10 changes.
You're going to keep Anthony in, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want him to get another 60 minutes or 50 minutes.
Same.
Yeah.
And then the rest, you change.
Yeah, I change the rest.
Because I think it'll be Dubravka, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, Shaw.
Lindelof, Shaw. Basically, the old back 4.
Casemiro, Fred. Donny.
He's injured, I think.
If he's back, it'll be Donny.
9 changes. I think he'll kick Bruno in because I think Bruno's a high-intensity player. I think he plays Bruno, Elanga, Anthony, and Ronaldo.
Yeah, but you see this? I would love to do this. Sancho in the 10, Elanga on the left. Because I'll be honest,
Sancho in the 10, but it ain't gonna happen. And by the way, you know what? I'm glad because I know we're 43 minutes. I wanted to touch on this quickly. Can I touch on Sancho now, or do you want me to wait and we do it after the line?
Let's answer this first, innit?
Yeah.
Big up HK Music. He said, "I want to see Fred, Casemiro, Donny." Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but I think if Donny's fit, then I would like to see Donny Van der Beek.
Yeah.
But I think Casemiro or Fred will therefore start. Obviously, number 10, we have a question, and then obviously the rest of the team, I think Ten Hag will do. But you never know in it. First game Europa League, Real Sociedad, you want a good start in it.
Yeah,
that's literally the toughest team in the group in my eyes. Yeah. Go on, talk on Sancho. Because
yeah. Because we're going to talk about it tomorrow, so I want to try and save a little bit of it. Me, you, and Mina are on. But Sancho, for me, I don't want to use the word worried. I don't want to use the word concerned. I've got a third eye on him right now, man. This management from Ten Hag is brilliant on Sancho, by the way, because I think that Sancho, for me, I'm noticing already, is this type of player that at the moment, he's not taking on his man fully. He's not fully backing himself. He's getting a couple of assists. He got the goal against Leicester. But I feel like other than that, he hasn't actually done much during games. I don't feel like he's given us a lot. I get it. He retains the ball and he's quite clever in his positioning and stuff. But what I feel like now is with Jadon Sancho, he needs to realise that I think when you've got Anthony, you've got Ronaldo, Rashford, Martial potentially coming back, even Elanga for who he works hard, you need to do more than just what you're doing if you want to stay in this side. I've got a feeling that basically Jadon Sancho, for me, in the long run, I know we need squad depth, by the way, so take this with a pinch of salt, obviously, in games, but I think Sancho could play himself out the side. And I think what Ten Hag's doing right now is managing him perfectly, taking him off after 60 minutes, because when you look at other wingers in the league, like the Sadio Manes, you got the Salahs, you got the Diaz's, I'm trying to think, you even got the Brendan Arnesons for Leeds. I'll throw that name out there. Leandro Trossard. You just got these sort of quick, short, explosive players. Sancho was never that type of guy. And he kind of plays the game at one speed. Like, he doesn't really have gears to go up. He's not going to like sprint loads and then not sprint less. Like, he will just play, he just runs at one level. And I feel like after 60 minutes, you've got the best out of Sancho. Like, you're not really going to get more from him. You've seen what you've seen, and that's that. So I think Ten Hag's management, by the way, on Jadon Sancho has been brilliant, because I actually do feel like he is a 60-minute man, especially in the games we've been playing lately. And I just want to, I'm not saying he's been crap or anything. I just feel like for Ten Hag, once we have competition, you're going to have to do more than what you're doing now to say, yeah, do you know what? When I pick my front three, who's starting? I'm first on that team sheet. You won't be.
You know what I think is interesting? Like, big up HK Music again. He said Sancho's just like Donny. He needs players around him to play a certain way. He's not going to beat his man. He's more of a control player. And I agree with that. Do you think Sancho's like Donny in terms of, as the process goes on,
as the team molds,
we see a better Sancho? Yeah, because you know what I said? Yeah, you see in pre-season, that was probably more of Erik Ten Hag's style of play than what we're seeing right now, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie, Martial, the focal point, can do that for him.
Yeah, and it's not just about Martial in terms of Sancho had a lot more combinations to play in those pre-season games, and he's
I know you think it. I'm actually saying because Martial can stick the ball up, then he drops out, and he actually does a lot of the link-up play himself. Like when you watch Martial, he don't just sit up there as a striker. He does them little 1-2s of Sancho, and they're bouncing off each other. Like, he doesn't do that with anyone else.
No, it's not even just about that. I just think he had a lot more of the ball in those early pre-season games than what he's having now. And he's having to do.
But that's what I'm saying, because we actually had
more of a transition game.
Make it stick, so we were able to keep the ball up there. Sancho for me needs to not be getting the ball on the halfway line. Sancho needs to be receiving the ball 30 yards from goal. Doesn't matter where it is. 30 yards from goal. Quick pass into there and then dart off and then make a run, or play it on the outside, link him with Bruno, spin off, and then. When Sancho's playing from the halfway line and doing that, all he's doing is cutting in, simple pass, a little ball carry, a little dribble, and it's safe. He needs to be getting the ball up in the final third. Like, if he played for Barcelona and he's receiving the ball up at the edge of the box, perfect. But we're not doing that yet, and that's what I mean with Sancho. And
like, this is also a good point as well. Like, as much as I like Malacia, I still think he needs to be doing a lot better going forward, kind of thing, innit? And this is what Sancho and Anthony had the same game with Sunday. The only difference is Anthony scored. I don't think Anthony was great, by the way. But you know one thing I say? You know when you saw Anthony's game? I don't know if you lot realized it yet. There were so many points where Anthony just stood with the ball and just waiting for someone to run, kind of thing, innit? And this is what I kept saying. Anthony relies on runners. Like, he's quick. Like, he has better physical attributes than Jadon Sancho, but he's still someone that relies on other players, kind of thing, innit? Which is why I've always said, I think someone like Bruno Fernandes, Anthony will like, because Bruno off the ball movement is phenomenal in my eyes. And that's where with Sancho's kind of a similar mode in terms of Sancho's game relies on other players, kind of thing, if that makes sense. The possession-based game, plays to link up with, like you said, with Martial and stuff. That's why I've always doubted that combination as a winger partnership. And I think, as I said, we saw what Rashford done. The runs in behind is just completely different to what our other wingers offer. But as I said, fixtures, pick and choose games that certain player might play.
I'll let Biz run. Biz hasn't spoke for a minute.
Yeah. No, do you know what? Yeah, I hear what you're saying with the Sancho situation as well. I think like once a team gels, and it's obviously we've become that cohesive unit and are keeping teams at a low block, I think Sancho does come alive. But for the time being, it is going to be difficult for him, because obviously majority of the times, like if you look at the front three on Sunday, they were pretty much isolated for a large chunk of that second half until changes were made. But I just feel that once the team starts flowing, I don't think it will be a problem. But I don't know about his fitness at the moment, because like you said, you keep taking him off after 60 minutes. I don't know if that's a tactical thing or it's a fitness thing. That's the only question marks I have.
I think it might be tactical, you know. Because think about it, yeah. When the game was getting open, you want a Rashford. Because I saw a lot of people, even the Leicester game, saying Sancho should have not been taken off, should have been Rashford. But you know what Rashford, he provides the outlet, especially when he's sitting back in terms of Fred coming on, you're trying to be a bit more compact. I would rather have a Rashford on the pitch than Jadon Sancho. Because in my eyes, Sancho don't score the goal that Rashford scored the other day. So I think it's important kind of thing, isn't it? And this is what they can bring him to that Sam, the guy that's Southampton, Sam City, saying that's what he should be doing. That's probably what you associate with like a Premier League winger kind of thing, isn't it? In terms of when he came on against Wolves, he was very, very direct in terms of taking his people on. I think he had the most take-ons in that game in like 17 minutes. But that's what I said, that's not Sancho's game, which is why I'm like, I really, really want to see Sancho in 10 in the Premier League. Like, and I said this, remember last year when I said Sancho in the 8? In terms of the hybrid.
Yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah, I remember that.
And I'm just like, the more I'm watching other Premier League wingers, the more I'm like, especially considering where we are under Ten Hag right now, I really want to see it.
Yeah.
But
Do you think he ever gets a chance to play there?
I don't know, innit? Because obviously it's going to be a big call moving a winger to more of a hybrid 8/10 kind of thing. But listen, man, like, why not try it? Like we saw Harvey Elliott and Fabio Carvalho starting midfield together.
True.
Against Everton.
True.
And don't get me wrong, on
body
the
frame. Yeah, I hear that.
Don't get me wrong, on the defensive transition, they got caught out a couple of times, but I think that's the next, like, you know, when I said the transition.
I think Sancho will be so sick in the 10. He's so agile, man.
And that's what I said. Remember when I said last year, like the next transition in football in terms of wingers becoming 10/8s?
Yeah.
I think he should be
like I think we were saying Bukayo Saka could do that, innit?
Yeah. But Saka still probably has a bit more like physical attributes suited to being a Premier League winger than a Jadon Sancho.
Yeah.
Even though I do think Sancho was a better player in my
eyes. If Saka was in midfield, the way he dribbles, you know he could play there. It's true. Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. Let me jump in. Calm. You know Levin loves his discussion on Sancho. I don't know, man. Like, we'll see what happens in it. We'll see what happens. 11, I'm sending you the link.
What other points did you have, babe?
I was going to see, do you not have any negatives?
Maguire.
Go on, 11, check WhatsApp.
Maguire's the only negative for me, man. Literally, those 10 minutes when he come on, you know what? We weren't even shaky. It was just like, you think to yourself, if he would have started for the whole game, Jesus would have had him in his pocket, and it could have been a silly scoreline in favour of Arsenal. So that's the only problems. I'm worried about him starting on Thursday against Sociedad.
Come on, it's not like that.
Let me say something quickly. Levin, because I know we only do an hour on this show. Just quickly, Levin, if you're about tomorrow, me and Baines are live at 6, so you can jump in tomorrow, then you can just do the whole thing then. Yeah, sorry. Go carry on, sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm worried about him starting, man. I was watching that Barcelona played with such a high line against Sociedad. So I was getting some joy getting in behind. Like,
that was a game that was on ITV, innit?
Yeah. So like, we know that's one of Maguire's weaknesses. I don't know if we're gonna have to adjust as a whole team again, bringing him back.
It's gonna be different. Do you know what, Biz? Though I'm excited in a weird way because say if it doesn't work out right and we lose our first game, it's so sad. So I feel like if we're gonna lose 21 at STEM, we'll beat the rest of the other teams, right? But at least it will show Ten Hag even more that the levels of, you know, what he's at and what these other players are at. It kind of helps him moving forward. So if anything, if Maguire doesn't play well and we win still, then great. If Maguire doesn't play well and we lose, then long term, we've Ten Hag and us have learned more about Maguire anyway. The only thing I was going to ask you, Biz, and Baines, if you know, is I watched that same game and they were getting some joy in behind in that Sociedad, but they obviously had Alexander Isaac then. Who they replaced him with? Do you know?
Not too sure. I don't think I watched Sociedad.
Yes, because I don't know if it's changed the way they played. You know what I mean?
But you never know in it. Like, no matter what, we should realistically still be winning that game. And big up HK Music, he said, what you guys are talking about is why when we see a real Ten Hag team, I feel like it will be Sancho, Martial, and Anthony. Rashford off the bench with 20 minutes left will put fair and tired defenders, like Sancho coming on at the same time, won't square defenders as much. I agree with that. And this is another good point about the real Ten Hag team. Because I said this before, I don't think this is it's going to sound bad here, but I don't think this is a Ten Hag team right now. But as I said, I use that as a positive in terms of he tried playing that sexy football the first 2 games, playing out from the back. We couldn't do it. We had to adapt. A lot of these possession-based managers in my eyes can't adapt, but Ten Hag's adapted. And we're seeing a bit more just, this is going to sound bad at the same time as well, but I always say, Ollie football, transition football.
Yeah, it is. I said this to Biz.
Biz is loving it. Look at Biz.
He's loving it, innit?
No, but that was an element of Ollie's game that was very, very good. Us on the transition. I've always said we were one of the best sides in Europe at that aspect before people kill me in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's good. And like this year about the real 10-0 team, we're seeing it from the back. We can't be a real 10-0 team with David here. I think we can all see that now.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can't build from the back because we're just going long every single 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Rashford, let's be honest, is not, you could argue. The thing is, Ten Hag strikers have been different kind of thing in terms of a Tadic, a Halle model.
Yeah.
Which is why it's a bit more harder to tell. But in terms of, for example, playing at the back, it's hard to tell, isn't it? Or not, it's easier to tell, if that makes sense.
Do you know what as well? I actually think to this as well, HKN. I actually think it could be a Rashford, Martial, and Anthony front three. I think then you've got an Anthony who's a bit like our Kulusevski. You've got Martial who's a bit like our Kane. And you've got Rashford who's a bit like our Son. I'm not saying that we're going to play like Spurs, but I think if you look for a dynamic front three that gives you a bit of everything, I actually think that has substance to it. And I'd be very excited to see a Martial.
1-0 Dynamo Kiev.
Huh?
1-0 Dynamo Kiev.
Not who scored? Not Orsic. Who scored?
I don't know.
Oh, checking my brother Orsic scored, isn't it?
Yeah, Orsic. Yeah.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Come on, man. That's what we do, man. Yeah, I'm going to shut on after this. I do not want to slap it on in a minute, actually. But yeah, Baines, man, I'm interested to see what he does with the front three. But you know what? I want depth, man. Look at Man City, the way they have all their options and they rotate each week. I just think it's exciting, man. I'm really happy right now. Do you know what? I'm really happy. I'm in Portugal this weekend, so I'm buzzing to watch the game there.
Swear down.
Man United. Yeah, I'm in Portugal. Man's got to chat to Ronaldo's family in Lisbon, man. See what's going on, innit?
Wait, is that where you're going?
And I'm flying to Lisbon, though.
And where are you going? What are you saying?
I have to send you the hotel. It's nice. I've got work paid for it.
No way. This guy's living his good life, you know. This idiot.
Man. So I'm gonna be out there, cocktails, and Soulhurst.
and we're here. You know, like it's raining right now outside.
Yeah. I'm not in Portugal now.
Last 2 days.
I'm going on weekend.
Yeah, I know, but it's probably still gonna be raining in London.
Yeah. It's nice out there. So yeah, I'm going on weekend. I'm gonna watch the game and that. So hopefully we win. But I still message in the group chat. But I'm just hoping that I can go out there and we get the result, man. Because obviously Tottenham are playing Man City at 5:30 on a Saturday. But let's just keep this going, man. We've got to keep this momentum going. And, you know, we can't get excited of ourselves. But we're coming for the title, baby.
Shameless, you know. This guy is fully shameless. But you know what? No, we'll see in it. We'll see. We got Real Sociedad,
man. Like, you know what, Baines? The bottom line is, I actually asked these guys, before the Liverpool game, predict our points, and we said that we'd get 4 points from the next maybe 5 games or something like that. We've got 6 from the first. Well,
wow.
He's got to take a call. Yeah, it's cool. I'll run it. Yeah, he's got to take a call. When we said about predicting the points, and we said 4 and 5 points, and Biz was the highest on 5. The Man United team have surpassed our expectations, and I just hope it continues, man. I saw Marcel quickly put up a tweet earlier, and he said like beating Leeds and Palace like is doable. Like if you think about it, we can do that. But obviously after that is City. If we can win them 2 and go into the international break with momentum and then come back and beat City, I'm not saying I'm going to believe in anything. We're winning the title. I'm not going to believe that. I believe we have got something.
You know what? No matter what, I'm still saying 6. I don't care what anyone says. I want every single other team to feel the pressure other than us. Which is why I keep saying when anyone asks me, what's your prediction, 6? Because I know
I'm not saying nothing else. Yep.
Like we move in silence kind of thing. And that's the vibe that I want to go in right now.
That's it. Because 4 weeks ago we was a mess. So I'm not trying to change now.
I like this. As bad as it sounds, I like this underdog feeling.
Yeah.
Like against Arsenal, everyone was writing this off. Against Liverpool, everyone wrote us off, and we got 6 points from it. Against Palace, people think we're going to struggle now again. Different sort of
I think even Leicester and Southampton people were writing us off.
Yeah. People were saying, Leicester haven't won in how long? You just know it's going to be such a United thing for them to win. And it hasn't been. Which is why I'm like, we move in silence, innit? We move in silence.
Game by game, man.
Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
Bro, tomorrow, Trafford Tunnel, me, Mina, big up Mina, doing a lot of hard work. Me, Mina, and Baines are there tomorrow. We're going to touch more on the Europa League. We're going to talk about how serious it is, the predicted 11. I'm going to touch on a couple other things. So that's 6 o'clock tomorrow. So make sure you're there. I might have to check the Champions League times. I'm on with Saeed at 5. And then most importantly, guys, just make sure you're liking this video, man. Make sure you're subscribing to Statman Baines. We love the support on the channel. We love doing this show every Tuesday, man. So just keep supporting Baines, man. We're here for the whole season and longer, man. So, yeah, subscribe to Trafford Tunnel and Never a Foul. There are channels. And also, yeah, man, hit the like on this video and subscribe to Baines.
Biz, is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah, man. Like and subscribe to Baines. Like and subscribe to Trafford Tunnel, man.
There's the link in the title as well.
Yeah,
perfect. The link's in the title, man. So people
follow
just...
all up, bro. 12 points. Let's hope we get 15 on Sunday and just keep moving.
Big up Riff Arts as well. Love that.
Yeah, the Bailly thing we said, right message, wrong messenger, kind of thing. Innit? But listen, man, he has every single right. He's not really going to come back to United, so you can say what he wants, innit? That's not our problem. And I think that culture around United changed under Erik Ten Hag. But listen, big up everyone for watching. Make sure you guys like the video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to Trafford Tunnel, subscribe to me, and I'll be back soon. Big up.
That.